Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Faith Perspective. It's another episode here on the Faith Perspective. And today we'll be handling a total different topic, talking about film making. And we have here an industry veteran talking about in the filmmaking industry. Uh, I think I'll just read through his bio as I try to compile it. I wish I make the best of it. So we're meeting Austin Lordlaz today, and Austin Lordlaz is a trained and decorated professional film and theater director, a producer, a writer, a teacher. Austin has written and directed and produced a couple of feature-length and short films in Nigeria. His newest film project, First Chronicles of the Island, is a work for distribution after his much embraced September 23 state government commemoration film project. Austin Lotlas holds a master's degree in directing and a Bachelor of Arts in Theater Arts. Apart from being a directing and screenwriting lecturer at Ememi Song's Royal Arts Film Academy, Austin Lotlas was an assistant director on the international Spanish TV series La Unidad, second assistant director on Hasta El Cielo La Serie, filmed in 5 countries, and The Black Book. He also functioned as a second assistant director on the multiple award-winning film Eyimofe, This Is My Desire. After being a long-standing production coordinator and unit production manager at Ebony Life TV, he also was part of the production crew in ELTV's The Wedding Party 2. Austin has directed jaw-dropping and spine-chilling command performances for many Nigerian state governments and universities. His outing as a director in Africa's Biggest Street Party, Carnival Calabar, produced Freedom's Band in first position in 2019 after 15 years of Carnival play, and he has maintained top position momentum after that. Austin Dotler's film, The Last of Us, screened internationally and won Best Short Film at the Yo International Theatre and Film Festival 2019. Best Short Film, Governor Ben Ayade's Humanity Film Competition 2019, with other nominations across the world. He also produced a film, Gone 9 Months, which won the Best Feature Award in Rome 2017. Austin has a rare combination of creative and production skills that stands him out. Wow. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I feel embarrassed.
Yeah, it was a difficult time. I should put it that way. Like reading through your bio, it's loaded.
Yeah, see, small person.
You're welcome, sir. Welcome to the Feds Perspective. It's a privilege to have you here on the Feds Perspective this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so in a climate such as Cross River State, where tourism has become a commodity, so filmmaking is a needed catalyst, and I am very certain that a lot of young persons have genuine interest to tell their stories or these stories that we have on film. But they might lack, should I say, the needed inspiration, the needed direction, and I think we'll try to do justice to that this morning.
Okay.
So once again, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'll let you talk to us a bit. Talk to us a bit. Like, I just want to step into the film industry, right? I don't know anything about it. Let's from ground zero. What's the first thing I need? What's the first direction before we handle the other questions?
First, thank you for having me. It's it's a privilege to actually be on your show to share ideas, especially concerning the film and creative industry. So, the thoughts alone, have nurturing that thought that you actually want to step into the film industry is a first step already.
Okay.
Now, we are in a world where everything is actually getting easier and simple. Okay. So now, someone who actually wants to get into the film industry will need to have that flair,
Okay.
that talent. Okay. A possible, say, area of interest. Okay. You need to know where you are going. Are you coming in as an actor or you
All
are
right.
coming in as a crew functionary? You need to know that. Then when you know that, you ask yourself, do you actually need to upskill, all right,
Okay.
in the area that you want to
Yes.
explore in the film industry? So in as much as you have those boxes ticked, then you are on the right path into getting into the you are on the right path to getting into the
The
film
film industry.
industry. But then again, we need to understand that the way film works now, all right, you can actually start practicing film before you get
Okay.
into the film
Get into the
industry.
industry per se.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. So, do you think films actually simply reflect society? Do you think films influence the way people? Because I'm very much interested in the social cycle. Do films influence the way people think and the way they behave?
Of course, film, the idea of film and theater is drawn from the society. All right.
Yeah.
So, and human beings, people dwell in that society.
Yeah.
Film and theater cannot happen without the people who constitute the society. So, to a very large extent, film productions reflect the society, okay, because it's more like a mirror. Okay, it mirrors the society. But then the question is now, what aspect of the society does film mirror? What happens in film is layered in three phases:
Okay.
yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And in other words, you may say it is what happened, what is happening, and what may likely happen.
In the
So
future.
in that where you understand that it is structured in a way that it lifts its story from events
Events
that
and
may
existing
likely happen. So, and then again, it could be that the event you are trying to mirror, the happening, the experiences you want to actually give out in your film will either be fiction or non-fiction. So the fiction has its impact on the people seeing the film. The non-fiction too will also have its impact on the people seeing the film. So it has a whole lot of impact how people behave.
Okay. So now so what we're trying to say by implication is that film can actually influence social behaviors, right?
Yes, to a very large extent, film can influence social behavior. It can it can reshape your mind.
Okay.
Yes.
So what social looking at Nigeria, the state of the country at this time, what social issue do you believe deserves attention, like via filmmaking, like something we should I think maybe filmmakers should maybe pay attention to that deserves to be addressed. Perhaps give us a better understanding, or I don't know, maybe educate us better.
So you likely will get bored if a particular issue in the society gets attention from every filmmaker.
Okay.
You'll be bored. So a whole lot of issues deserve attention, but then it depends on how those issues are discussed in those films. You understand? Film serves the traditional functions of entertainment, information, education, and exhortation at some
Okay.
extent. Then
Exhortation.
you also need to understand that you will find how you can creatively bring in those social issues into your film as you are raising that mirror to reflect this. And then again, when we talk about the issues now that should be discussed in film, the issues that are of very strong thematic import or thematic relevance, what we are saying is that you will be very careful to balance the entertainment function, the educative function, and the informative function of film. In that way, all those social issues will actually be brought
Come
to
together.
light.
I get it. So personally now, do you think you've been watching Nigerian films, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think they're actually portraying what is going on in the society? It's a personal opinion, right? So do you think they're actually portraying what is going on in the society, or they are over exaggerating it?
Okay, let me say something that may not sit well with a whole lot of people.
Okay.
Film doesn't necessarily need to portray what is currently happening.
Okay.
All right. Now, but understand that I made reference to three phases of what may happen, what is happening, and what will likely happen.
Happening,
I also mentioned that it could be fiction or non-fiction.
Non-fiction, yeah.
Now, when we look at it from the fiction and non-fiction aspect of it, you understand that filmmakers are creative. They are very imaginative set of people. So if they delve into the non-fiction aspect of their creativity, they can actually imagine a whole lot. And when they bring those imaginative powers, you don't expect those imaginative powers to reflect the current realities
or what
of
you're seeing,
or what you're
physically,
seeing. Yeah. So then again, we need to understand that yes, film could be exaggerated. Exaggerations happen in our film. In fact, everywhere in the film industry, okay, Bollywood, Hollywood, everywhere, Nollywood, we have those exaggerations. But when you see those exaggerations, filmmakers don't just make film to keep it. They make film to actually make profit, okay, to guarantee a satisfaction and to maximize profit. Filmmakers are looking at the box office. They are looking at the cinemas, what will actually come in, all right? So they will not go on the stories that may not
sell
guarantee.
at the time.
Yeah, they may not go for stories that will not sell. So, in as much as they are passing a message, they are also looking at what level of exaggeration or creative exaggeration, so to say,
That's
can
what
I
creative
inject?
exaggeration.
Yeah, can I inject to excite the audience to come see my film, to excite the audience so that I will have the population I need to cash out from the box office.
Oh, okay.
So it's a mix of all of them. It could be exaggerated, okay, when you have those fiction and you play down on exaggeration when it is non-fiction. Especially, you cannot play on too many exaggeration when you are talking about docu-films. That's
Yeah.
documentary
Yeah.
films.
Okay. All right. So let's look at the local environments, because I think in the states and in the nation we are trying so hard to sell our destinations in a sense. And one of the things you're trying to sell as a people is culture, right? And culture happens to be so wide, from fashion to cuisines to a lot of things. So, which parts of our culture do you think is still, should I use the word underexposed or not given much attention to, that's in the movie industry?
Now, when you talk about culture, are you limiting it to any culture, or you are trying to narrow it to crossover?
Now I'm talking about okay. Let's start with crossover before we move on. Yeah.
One of the things that caught my attention when I arrived Calabar, that's 2003, was the culture of the people. I studied theater, my first degree. So now the culture of the people is awesome. In fact, I started saying, oh, there is a whole lot I have actually been missing. Now, there is a whole layers of the culture that needs to come into film. Not one, not two. There is no face of the Efe culture or cross river culture, so to say. There is no face of cross river culture. Let me not pigeonhole it. There is no face of the cross river culture that doesn't require being projected.
Okay.
All right, that doesn't, every aspect of the culture is beautiful. But then we need to understand that in as much as you want to make those films that have cultural colorations and cultural relevance, you need to understand that then again, it's who is bankrolling this film.
Okay.
All right? Who is bankrolling these films? There are films that are that may be culturally themed, but filmmakers may say, if I pick on this film, I may not hit the mark I want. So we lack that investment. People will hardly invest on it. If you have people who can actually openly come to invest in films that are culturally themed, films with cultural colorations, of course, a whole lot of them will actually come out. You see people embracing them. The culture is beautiful. Nigerian culture is beautiful, all right? But then a whole lot of people just say they detach themselves a bit because they are looking for what will sell strongly. Not that we don't have wonderful culturally themed stories that we can actually project, but then every aspect of the Nigerian culture, every aspect of cross river culture requires projection and relevance.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. So now, when we began, I think one of the things I talked about was young persons who want to, that's the first step they're supposed to take, like into the film industry. Now, let's look at movies. How can movies be made to inspire purpose, like in young people, rather than popularity? I think that's where a lot of us do get it wrong, because most persons want the way films have been designed now. It shoots more for to popularity, make a particular figure popular. So people, there are some persons who want to go into the industry as actors, especially because they just want to get that face out there. So okay, so how do we make films to inspire purpose instead of popularity?
So it's a very wonderful question here. See, a whole lot of filmmakers, content creators now who just want to shoot into limelight are usually concerned about what will trend, forgetting the message aspect of it. So for us to capture or catch what you are saying, film with strong influence is making films that are making films with messages around social behavior change and communication. All right, when you make message, when you actually tailor your films around social behavior change communication, you understand that it will have a whole lot of impact. It will be very influential on even the filmmaker, on even the talent, on even say the audience who are watching. Behavior change, films are usually very strong because they anchor on social issues that can actually either improve those who are seeing it, or those either improve those who are seeing it or those who are acting it.
Okay,
so it improves those who are seeing
even
it.
with the actors
Yeah,
themselves.
even with the actors. For instance, there is a project. I'm sure you actually saw my actors rehearsing
Yes,
the
yes,
other
I
day.
did, yeah.
That's work alone. That is Two Sides is styled around two actors. Okay. In fact, as they are acting, they keep saying, wow, new information, things that will impact on
On
them.
them
Okay.
personally first.
Personally, immediately they see it. At some point, they will just say, the actors will say, wow, I love the message here. Okay. The crew will say, I love the message here. And in as much as we are appreciating those kind of messages, okay, the audience will also
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
those messages.
Okay. You talked about social media. You brought in that's content making, content
Mhm.
maker. So do you think social media has it made storytelling more authentic, or do you think it's just performative? Talk about social media and
So
content
I
making.
think it's a combination of both. All right.
Okay.
In as much as the social media has made storytelling more authentic. That is true because there are people who don't actually wait for a whole lot of things. As the idea rush comes, they pick it and they point, they flow with it. They point a camera out, whether it's a professional camera or not, it comes out as raw as it is. The talent is raw, the idea is raw, the message is raw as good, the bad, the
The
ugly.
ugly.
That's how they actually churn it out. So it makes message very, very relevant.
Okay. So now in this kind of world, in this setting where we're having social media, we're having bloggers, content creators, and all that, how do filmmakers like you
Mhm.
actually compete with I know yes, I saw you that during the results the other time, and just that session alone was a whole lot of work,
Yeah.
right? So now you're going to spend that time to put all that together, put the story together before you even get to have the lights and the cameras rolling, right? So how do you compete with somebody who does something similar in 30 seconds and just puts it out? Like, talk about reels. We have reels now, and
Yes, yes.
so somebody just comes up with a reel. And so how do you compete? How do filmmakers, how are they coping with the current state of things now?
Okay, see, one thing that is constant is change and it keeps coming. The only good thing that we can do for ourselves as creatives is to actually adjust to those change. Yeah, you see a whole lot of content creators coming, and what could actually take you hours, days as a filmmaker, they produce it in about 3, 4 minutes and they are out. You start feeling, come on. What is this? But so the difference is there is a level of attention we give to detail. There is a
Okay.
level of quality that we bring to it. Okay, it will interest you that. Sorry, I am trying, so it doesn't sound like I am promoting a work here. Two Sides, which you saw the rehearsal. It took a whole lot of days to film, but you won't believe that we have decided to style it vertically to suit
Okay.
into
Instead of
that social media,
space.
because social media space,
Yeah.
given that people are doing something in that rush,
Yeah.
we are trying to give more attention to detail to say, okay, we can also key into this your trend of vertical
Yeah. Videos.
content
Yeah.
and create vertical drama. Okay, I call it vertical micro drama. Then we create it in that way and push it. You see a message that could actually take about 30 minutes or 45 minutes in a full stretch film. All right, we bring it together in 3 minutes, deliver a compelling performance with great visual that you will see. That's
Yeah.
what we are doing in Two Sides.
Wow.
So it's in line with moving with the trend of content creators who can actually create a story, create a content in 2 minutes. But then the difference is we
Yes.
are giving it some professional touch, both in sound, picture,
Pictures and
storytelling. In
everything.
fact, we paid attention to the scripting, the storytelling itself.
All right, sir. So let's get a bit personal before we round of this session. What's the most, should I say, difficult scene you've ever had to shoot?
Okay, as a filmmaker, I have different functionaries. Okay, I usually do professional assistant directing duties. So if I discuss that at that level, it will be very not me, okay,
Okay.
because I functioned as assistant director, because that's a whole lot of
Yeah,
challenge
yeah.
itself. Big sets, you have over 2,500 casts that you are managing at the same time as an assistant director. It's usually crazy. Okay, you are managing those casts, you are managing the shoot processes, you are managing every element of the shoot day. Okay, imagine when you are on that big set, especially international film set. I've been privileged to work on very big projects, like you
Yeah, yeah.
mentioned,
We
Hector,
had them
El
over on the
Cielo,
bow.
La
Yeah.
Unidad, shot in about 4 or 5 countries. Okay, but then when you look at that, you realize that they come with a whole lot of challenges, especially those Spanish
Yeah, yeah.
series. I don't speak the language, but then I had to push myself, okay, to grab a couple of them managing actors who do not even speak English, okay,
Yeah.
then you need to understand, find a soft landing for you people to have good
Communicates. Yeah.
communication. You have a whole lot of cast with vehicles, props, and all of them. Then it's usually overwhelming. But then if I narrow it down to my project, there is a project I made some time ago. It's actually a short film, all right? Um, that scene was to see how I could get the actors into a refuse dump. All right. All
Uh,
right. And having them into a refuse dump, okay, having them into a gully running with dirty water, I was just thinking, how can this come out real enough without risking the
yeah, yeah. The
health
health.
of
Yeah.
my actors? Okay, I fought through and through and through. There was a day I had to say, okay, we can't film this. Let me think through it again. Given that I was trying to, it's a message, it's themed on behavior change. Okay, it's
All right.
about it's a strong awareness film. But then when I looked at it, I felt I need to think through this again. How can they pick bread from
Yeah.
this refuse
Refuse
and
them.
eat it? Okay, I had to think through and through. Then I think the next day I came up with wonderful plans that actually worked. It's not that if I had adults who could execute it, it would have been a different thing altogether. But
Oh,
I had
minors.
minors. I had
Uh,
minors all through on the set. I had 7, 8 to about 15 years old on that project. So it was just a whole
I
lot.
can imagine. So have you ever wanted or maybe imagined or wished to quit filmmaking?
So there is this film set. I worked on the set of the Black Book one. While we were filming it, that film set, the Black Book one. While we were filming in Kaduna, there was a day I felt highly overwhelmed as an assistant director. In fact, I whispered to myself, now who sent you? All right. So the thought wasn't a thought to quit. It was a thought of challenge. I felt like, whoa, if you see the picture, if you see the photograph on that set, you will marvel. Okay. Then I asked myself, now who sent you? All right. Because there was a whole lot of things happening to me. Then again, it had its crowd. All
Okay.
right. It had its crowd, and the crowd is background actors. You are talking about background actors from the Hausa extraction, especially those who are from remote spaces who, when
Okay.
they hear action, they don't want to hear cuts. And they are on bikes, you see them flying away. And when they don't come back on set, Everything is on you. You feel like, who is this? They just hear action, you hear eco, and they run, fly away with the bikes. Before you bring them out, it's a whole lot of things. So then again, still very challenging. Our film set was another film set, but that's Black Book 2 and Hector El Cielo 2. All right, there are moments you say, man, this is it. But then I love challenges. Each time I come to that point that I feel overwhelmed, I feel I am loving the art of filmmaking. All right. Then I love such experiences that will just stretch me and make me feel, oh, you could actually pull through this today. Yeah.
Okay, so if you had to get unlimited resources, let's put so, you talked about bankrolling.
Yeah.
So if you saw to get unlimited resources to do a particular project, a particular movie, what would the movie be about?
Right now,
Yes.
if I get a particular budget to do a movie, there is a very strong image I usually see around the Calabar River. What's Bayside?
Bayside.
There is a very strong image.
An answer.
Yes, an answer.
Okay.
I want to make a very compelling narrative about it. I have imagined
I think it's popped up on social media.
Yes, yeah, it popped up on social media. And the day it popped up, I just felt like, this image again. It is swell. If I have that wherewithal, I will make a very compelling narrative, a very compelling film about that announcer structure.
Okay, sir. So we're just going to end this with short questions where you just pick one or tell us yes or no or something. So between documentary or feature film?
This one hard though. So I make a whole lot of documentaries, yeah. Okay. In fact, I just returned from Lagos. I made a documentary, very good one that screened in Lagos. I will be very unfair if I say documentaries because I have strong passion for feature-length films. So please forgive me to say I am somewhere.
It's all right. It's all right. I'll forgive you.
Thank you.
So cinema or streaming?
Cinema is it. Cinema gives you that, it is cinema for me. It gives you that mindset of perfection. Okay. Or it gives you that thought line of, I need to allow all these creative processes to actually come to a very high level. You need to see all these indivisible whole come together, given that you know that there are strong critics who are waiting to tear the film apart. Okay. You would want to do more, given that you know that you have audiences who are very judgmental, who will be sitting there to score you on the spot. You feel you need to bring in your A game. Streaming, of course, a whole lot of things can just be wished of. Yeah.
Script or cinematography?
Come on, scripts. Yeah, I love scripting. Yeah, I love scripting like mad. In fact, there are moments I write and those characters start talking to me and I felt, whoa, let's go. All right. Yeah. One thing about my writing is I usually try as much as possible to allow those characters speak. When they are not speaking, if I start speaking, I stop, because when your character when you start talking more, you realize that you are losing the story you want to tell. But when those characters start talking to you and the inspiration is coming, you are on the speed lane.
Okay, so what's that one Nigerian film you think everyone should watch?
Chai.
Just one.
Hey. Okay, I just finished a project. Okay, I was second assistant director on it. It's not under my direction, so that will be the Black Book 2.
The Black Book 2.
Yeah, we call it Old Scores.
Okay. So what's one international filmmaker you admire?
I love two guys layered differently.
Okay.
Spielberg
All right.
on one side. Then you have this guy I call an African who is into incredible storytelling when it comes to relationship. You just know, oh, was uh, very. What's the name running away? The name is, it just vanished.
Okay, no
I'll
problem. No problem. What's your favorite filming location?
Okay, I love film locations that are very natural. Okay, very when they are very natural, I just love them. Any film location that wouldn't require artificialities. Tyler Perry. I have Steven Spielberg, then I have
Tyler
Tyler
Perry.
Perry. Tyler Perry is a very wonderful filmmaker who does a whole lot of things. I love his storytelling style.
Okay. So if you had the opportunity, we're ending with this. If you had the opportunity to tell just one story that would outlive you and inspire generations, what would that story be? And why would it be that story?
It will be a story that has its thematic import on social behavior change and communication. Yes, it will be a story that will actually affect lives. I think one of my best moments I feel I actually made film is when the film scratches on advocacy, child rights advocacy. So as long as the story scratches on behavior change, communication, as long as the story has very strong social impact, all right, as long as it communicates, as long as the value of the film is more of information and education and less entertainment, that will be that story that I would like to tell.
So I think you're in the right place because I'm personally interested in social behaviors. All right, you're welcome, sir. So once again, it was a great time having you on the FET perspective, where we discuss social events, social situations, social behaviors, and advocate for it, all from a different perspective. Of course, that's why it's a FET perspective.
Thank you very much,
So
Faith Perspective. It's an honor being here.
the same here. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.